Well, hi there folks. Here we've got a Lockwood oval. Don't know if you can see it, but it's a Lockwood oval 5-pin. I have been trying to pick this for weeks and weeks, and I simply cannot single pin pick it. So I thought, well, I'll try and take it to bits, and the only way I could take it to bits was to try and bump it, which I did. I managed to bump it. I've got bought bump keys, but they don't quite fit the Lockwoods, because I think the key itself is wider than our Lockwood key. You probably can't see that, but I think the key itself is thicker, and that makes it just won't go in there properly. So I've made my own. But the one I made, I actually got it bumped open and pulled the pins out of it just to see what pins they were. They're just normal standard pins, nothing unusual about them. But now, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who's familiar with Lockwoods, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've pulled other Lockwoods to pieces to have a look at the pins, and I think some of them have a very short taper on the driver pin, and others I think have a longer taper. And I think this one has a longer taper, and that's causing me considerable trouble. I can't pick it. It probably can be picked, obviously, but I certainly can't pick it yet anyway. So I got all the pins out of it, and then I thought, right, now I'll put it back together again. I have got a key for it. So there, working key. So, but like an idiot, I thought I had the pins in the right order, but I didn't check. Normally I lay the key down on the table and put the pins in the respective bittings there to make sure I've got the shear line. This time I forgot to do that, so I put all the pins in thinking, oh yeah, things are going great, and got the pins in, went to put the key in, it wouldn't go in. I knew instantly that I'd stuffed it up. I'd put the pins in the wrong chambers. So I got the old bump key. I made another bump key and put that in there, got the bump key in, and I couldn't get the bloody thing out because I hadn't filed enough off the top here probably. They were too high and they all locked behind the pins, and I couldn't get it out. So I had to snap that off, take it out of the shed, take the back off it here, get a thin piece of something or other that I could hold in there and drive it out with a hammer, which I did. So I made another one. This one is a lot better. So, but to get the pins back in, I've noticed that everybody uses well, most people use pinning tweezers. Well, I haven't got any, but I did get a set of tweezers when I was doing me key, bloody hell, me clock restoration and repair as a hobby. So I grabbed it because they're longer, so I grabbed one of those, and all I did was put it in the vise to a certain depth, and then got a piece of, I don't know, anything round, welding wire, anything, drove it down in there to spread the end of the tweezer, and then lowered the tweezer into the vise so it clamped on the tweezer and the rod, and then just bent the ends over. And I've got to say, they work really well. They work really bloody well. I'm quite happy with those. So, but anyway, so I repinned the thing, got it back together again. I've given up single pin picking it. I've decided if I can't single pin pick it after 2 months, well then we'll go for another option. So now I've bumped this thing several times. There's certainly an art to this bumping, that's for sure, and I ain't got it yet, but it's just the right amount of swing behind the hammer and the tension on the key. But if this doesn't work, I'll be severely annoyed, because I've got it several times off camera. Just got to get everything working right, and by Jesus, it's hard for me to get everything working right. could use the rubbers on there obviously, but I'm not going to worry about it. It does open eventually. I can't believe this. You can feel sometimes it gets so close to going, but there's just that, the odd pin I suppose, it's not there and it won't go. I may have to abort this video and just, you have to take my word for it that I can bump it. I actually found it better. I actually use this Superflex one, and I managed to get it with that more often than, but I can get it with that one. There it goes. There it goes. I've actually got it more often with that, I don't know what it's called, Superflex, whatever you call it. I've actually got it more often with that one than with this one. Even though I have got it with this one, that one seems to work better. So, alright, well there it is. We got it open. Thanks for watching that, you know, rather drawn out experience. Hooroo.